Good evening and welcome to the BCP Live. I'm Joey McWilliams, joined tonight by Ronnie Walters, and we're going to know in about 25 seconds or so if we're actually on Facebook. We're just seeing right now. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. We know we're live on YouTube right now, so thanks for watching us if you're watching us on YouTube. And I think that with all the problems that have been having, Facebook has been having with the live stream, that it's looking like right now like we may be on, may not. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see if it works out or not here in just a moment. I don't have the big red box yet, Ronnie, that says, "Hey, no, you're not on." So, we'll see if it happened or not. Anyway, I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad to get to visit with you all tonight here on the Bryan County Patriot Live. Ronnie, it is a blast getting to have you on with us again tonight. You talked about Me MD a little earlier in the week, and I wouldn't mind visiting about that again sometime too. I think especially with the county and the situation in which it is right now. And I, heard that there are folks that, aren't wanting to show up to the doctor's office as much either. I've heard that 2 or 3 times today. So this may be something we visit about again a little bit later on. In the meantime, man,
Yeah.
You look a little different than the last time I saw you.
Know. Don't I look younger? That's what I think. At least 10 years.
At least 10 years. At least 10 years.
That's good, except for my kids don't know who I am. So other than that.
Well, when I shaved the time, because I did have the little ring going on around, and I thought it made me look a little bit older. I know it took 10 years
The
off.
horseshoe.
I know it did. You did. However, now I think you talked about this before we went on the air, that the glasses put 5 years back. So is that?
Yeah. But with everything shaved, and you may take it off, it's kind of neutralize it out, I guess.
Cancel one another out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, listen, look, there's a lot to talk about tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get into everything or not. I'm glad to be on Facebook's watching already. So thanks again for checking in with us tonight. And yes, we're on. Hi, Robert. How you doing? I like the comment there. Just on. So that's good enough. I appreciate that a whole lot. Anyway, I do see some eyeballs on tonight, so thanks a lot. Ronnie, we want to get right to it because you had something to give away. And I realize right now that, again, with the county where it is right now for the next 21 days, you may or may not be able to use, you might be able to use some of it, right?
Yeah, you can still carry out at, I don't know, as of today, yeah, Roma's you can, yeah. So we've got the Opera House gift cards and Roma gift cards.
Yeah, tell us what you had going and the gift cards that go with it.
Okay, I revised it a little bit because I forgot to tell everyone at the first of the broadcast that if you posted your name then tagged some people, we would put it in. But I did it at the end, so I'm going to just include everybody that actually posted something. So I've included everybody. So if you did post something, either a hi or it's on, Don posted 20 different messages, so I should enter him in quite a few times. But as long as you put your name in there, you are in the drawing to get the Opera House coffee or the Roma's gift card. So, and I'm going to have a helper draw for us. If she'll come
I wish
over
you
here.
would. I saw it looked like you had some pretty good help there.
She's a good little helper. She's going to draw for us. So this will be for the Opera House gift card. Go ahead.
Okay.
Draw us one.
For the Opera House gift card. Our first ever giveaway on BCP Live.
Let's see who it is. Riley Coker.
Riley Coker. That is cool. I was just looking at her name on my sheet right here. Well, Riley Coker, our first winner. That is so cool.
Now we'll have the Roma's gift card. Draw one for us. You got one? All right. Okay, this one is Danielle Mays.
Danielle Mays. Okay.
Right. And
I'll get that down here.
And we'll do another one for the Opera House coffee. Grab us another one. What got there? No, this is one. And so this one is Amanda Draper. Amanda Draper.
Okay.
And then the last one. Who's it going to be? This one is Susan Westbrook Chalk.
Susan Chalk. All right.
All right.
That is so cool. Riley Coker, Danielle Mays, Amanda Draper, Susan Chalk. You are winners here on the BCP Live because of Ronnie Walters and his fine helper tonight. Thank you so much for helping out. I appreciate that. Man, that is cool. And Ronnie, thanks for doing that. I know that was just a blessing. Also, and on top of the fact that you got to bless people whose names were drawn tonight, you got to be a blessing to people in the community and get their business, small businesses as well. So thank you for that.
You betcha. No problem. Thank you, everybody, for commenting and being on part of the show with us. So we appreciate that.
All right. We're going to visit with Ronnie again because I do want to. Ronnie, if that's okay, before I let you go, will you take that invitation?
You bet. Anytime.
All right. We're going to talk about this a little bit more next week. But, Ronnie, I'll let you get back to your family. And thanks for being on with me tonight. God bless you, man.
Thanks, Joey. You too.
Of course, that's Ronnie Walters, and I appreciate him. I spoke with before when we were talking earlier about the fact that I'd gotten to know him and that gotten to be friends. I appreciate that. And let me give a plug here to the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce in that I got to meet Ronnie at one of the Coffee Network gatherings, and I realize we can't do Coffee Network right now, but that was where I met Ronnie, and it's where I've met so many other people. I'm not sure. I may have met Susan at Coffee Network. I think that's where we met Susan. I appreciate you watching tonight, by the way. One of the winners in the drawing. I know that's where I got to meet Shanna Johnson. I got to meet Jeff Shelburne. I mean, so many other people here in town that I consider not only acquaintances, but friends. And so just a shout out to that. If you're not in the chamber yet, if your small business is not in the chamber yet, now may be the time. Now may be the time to just join the chamber, and you just never know where these contacts are going to take you. So it's a really cool thing. All right. I do have, by the way, I have not given this away yet. And with Ronnie's giveaway coming up, this giveaway is going to be on Monday. So I pushed it to Monday, and here's the deal. I do have this from Green Spray. I know some folks are still getting more toilet paper now, but I do have this from Green Spray, and I have this and 3 more that look just like it. So giveaway with 4 toilet paper individual rolls. And all you have to do is subscribe to Midwest Sports Net's YouTube channel, and then you have to take a screenshot of that with your name and send it to me. And I believe, let's see here. There we go. There's the address. Joey at BryanCountyPatriot.com. Joey at BryanCountyPatriot.com. Subscribe to Midwest Sports Net YouTube channel and send a screenshot of you having subscribed and put your name on that. We'll put you in a drawing, and we will draw for that on Monday. So there you go. All right. I know we're not going to get to visit tonight with someone from school system, but I do want to let you know that the Oklahoma State Board of Education voted unanimously to cease in-person instruction. You have to just like the way that's stated there. To cease in-person instruction and extracurricular activities and to close school buildings through the end of the school year. And what this means then, besides just the fact that school is done for the year, but the extracurricular activities as well, which means that for Silo and Caddo specifically, it's not going to take place through now through the end of the school year. I don't know. I think the OSSAA is still has to meet tomorrow, I believe, is the case as to what they're going to do and how they're going to figure out the rest of the year. So they're going to do that. In the meantime, as of right now, howdy, Don Hyde. As of right now, there is no state tournament game. So that's sad. And it's frustrating on so many levels. I mean, now it's just a good time to give a shout out to the Silo kids again, the Caddo kids again, for making it to the state tournament. Bryan County, year in and year out, has been a county that's represented well in state tournament. And I mean, from all different schools within the county. Listen, we appreciate you. It's been a fantastic year. I think it's so cool, by the way, that both girls' teams, Silo and Caddo, got to go to or got to at least make it to that state round because you knew they were heading for a collision again. Silo Caddo Part 3 in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Folks had to drive 4 hours to watch a Bryan County basketball game. Are you kidding me? But that's the way it was. Silo comes away with a win there. Caddo gets a win the next night. Both of them are eligible to play in the state tournament. And again, that's where we are right now. Okay. Did want to give a shout out to Riley Coker. If you have not taken part in what she has going on, let me see if I can bring this up here. Bring up one of the photos. I have a lot of things to share today, and see if I can share this. Don't know if I can or not. I'm going to try this here because I wanted to go back to the OSF thing for just a moment, and let's share. Yeah, we can do that. So here we are. It is the Keep Creating campaign. Now, I know it's Wednesday. That means it is the 25th of March. It's the Keep Creating campaign. So for the week of March 23rd through 29th, and we're right here in the middle of it, the Oklahoma Shakespearean Festival is challenging anyone who wishes to participate to upload a video of themselves singing an up-tempo musical theater song. And oh my goodness, we have so many of those around our house. Fast-tempoed song comes from a stage musical, not a movie or the radio. It has to be a musical theater song. So upload one of those or upload a picture of you with something that you have painted. And if you want to do a video of yourself while you're actually in the painting process, that's kind of cool too. So feel free to send those things to OSF. And Riley, I'm not sure where to send that. What to find that out? Yeah, I've been promoting this thing and I don't know exactly where to send that. So keep that in mind. We'll get back to you on that. All right, the stimulus bill. Let's talk about things that do hit close to home. Stimulus bill. They're voting on it, or were voting on it as of just a few moments ago within the United States Senate. And there have been so many things that would make a difference for individuals and small businesses. Now, I realize there are stipulations in these small businesses or within the bill for small businesses that some folks can take part in it. Some folks, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. For some businesses, this loan that you might get could turn into a grant if you keep people on the payroll. For other businesses, it would be simply a loan and you'd need to pay it back within a certain amount of time. For individuals, we're hearing all kinds of things. And the amount that I had read over the course of the day the most was that adults, taxpaying adults, or if you filed for taxes, whether you got a refund or not, if you filed your taxes, adults would get $1,200 per adult in a household, $500 per child. And that number also has been quoted as just being $3,000 per household. If it's a family of four, I'm not sure on that. We'll try to get back on that tomorrow. I felt confident in these numbers earlier today when I had them written down. Now I'm not feeling as confident about that. It doesn't matter at the moment because the House did not go to work today. We'll talk about this a little bit later on as to whether or not you're going to see some of these things come through. So let's get right on into something else that we need to share on the screen, because the first confirmed case of COVID-19, I probably shouldn't say that, it may get me bounced off YouTube, was first case of a positive test for COVID-19 was confirmed in Bryan County yesterday. So all of these measures had already gone into place. Let's take a look at these. These are statewide measures from Governor Stitt from earlier this week. He's going to designate COVID hospitals in Tulsa and Oklahoma County, limiting gatherings to no more than 10 people, postpone elective surgeries, minor medical procedures, and non-emergency dental procedures until April 7th, prohibit visitation at nursing homes and long-term care facilities, and issue safer at home order for vulnerable populations. To issue the safer at home order for vulnerable populations. And trying to see if I have this down here. to what exactly that meant. Okay. He's requesting that elderly and individuals who are immunocompromised or have pre-existing conditions to shelter in their homes, leaving only for essential needs like groceries and prescriptions until April 30th. Now, this is the only place in all of this where April 30th kicks in. Okay, this was taken directly off the City of Durant Facebook page, which was taken from the statewide edict coming down from the Oklahoma state government. So this is the City of Durant Facebook page, which as of this morning, this was not on the durant.org website. The only place you could find this as being a city-issued statement was that it came off the City of Durant Facebook page. The City of Durant Twitter account hasn't been used since 2017 or 2018, something like that. So if you're looking for information from the City of Durant, you may want to go to the Facebook page. There is a public alert, but it does not have this particular order. So Safer at Home, let me read this again. Safer at Home order statewide requesting elderly and individuals who are immunocompromised to have pre-existing conditions to shelter in their homes, leaving only for essential needs like groceries or prescriptions. The key word here is requesting. Now, it is a statewide order, but that the way that the wording is there, that's the only place, by the way, where the date April 30th is used. All right. Now, we've seen this. We get this. This is all well and good. Let's bring up another picture here, because this is where then Bryan County now comes into play. And there it is. Measures for counties with community spread. It is really difficult to say that one positive test for COVID-19 is a community spread. There are two things about that too. Number one, we know that not everyone has been tested. There have been a limited number of folks tested, and there are tests here within Bryan County. And it's one of those things that if you are showing symptoms, if you are symptomatic, you've been asked to call ahead to the emergency room if you're wanting to be tested. The second thing about that, and I said it's tough to think of the word spread when there's just one positive case. Folks, we understand it's likely that there are people in Bryan County that already have been affected by this virus, because the virus likely didn't stop at the Red River. It likely didn't stop at Lake Texoma on the Roosevelt Bridge somewhere. It likely didn't stop coming down 75 from Caney, and it likely didn't stop coming in from Hugo or Soper or wherever it came into the east side of the county. So yes, we understand that there are folks in the county that likely already have this virus. Can't say that for sure, but we do know that there is at least one. And because of that, we fall now into this counties with community spread. So Governor Stitt has taken the following actions to slow the spread of COVID-19. Close all businesses not identified as critical infrastructure, and that is to take place as of 11:59 tonight. So those businesses are to be shutting down. And if you are a business that is part of the critical infrastructure, you can find out. This is one of the things you can find also on the City of Durant Facebook page, information as to how to find out where your business falls in all of this. Also, limiting restaurants and bars to takeout and delivery only, and that goes into effect as of 11:59 tonight. So limiting restaurants and bars to takeout and delivery only. Most have already gone there, and it goes into effect as of 11:59 Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Just something to keep in mind regarding that, and that is an edict from the state. Now, it also explicitly listed some of these places: hair salons, gyms, theaters, massage parlors, tattoo parlors, museums. Those are part of the businesses that are not part of the critical infrastructure. Restaurants may remain open in these counties, but must close their dining area, offering instead curbside pickup and delivery, and must be in compliance by midnight on March 25th or 11:59 on March 25th. Suspending elective surgeries, minor medical procedures, and non-emergency dental procedures beginning March 25th or 26th for the next 2 weeks to preserve medical supplies and PPE for COVID-19 response. Prohibits gatherings of 10 or more individuals. And we've gone over all of that too. So a couple more things from the state level. Keep in mind, oh, by the way, the expiration on driver's licenses issued by the state of Oklahoma, that has been delayed until further notified. If your driver's license expired, you had until, it's expired as of like February 15th or even into March. You had until June 30th to get that. That has also been delayed until further notice. Temporary suspension of Real ID compliance until further notice. Suspension of violations for state prison facilities and state juvenile secure care treatment centers until further notice. Also, veterans closed all state veteran centers for visitors. All essential staff must be checked for COVID-19 symptoms before entering the building, with all non-essential ODVA staff instructed to telework. So if you visit veterans in veteran centers, you have been asked to not visit, basically, for a little while. So there is that. All right. This one from the state of Oklahoma. If you've been checking out the news in the state of Oklahoma and you go by and visit their website, I-35 is narrowing down to one lane through the summer of 2020. Seriously? I-35? Really? This is my shocked face. Really. I-35 at mile marker 72, no less, which most of you, if you've driven from Durant to Oklahoma City, you get on I-35, you get there at Ardmore, you turn north, and mile marker 72 used to be famous for what? Does anyone know what mile marker 72 used to be famous for? Someone comment. Give me a comment if you know what mile marker 72 on I-35 used to be famous for. It's not mile marker 72 anymore. It's actually a different mile marker. I'm going to give you just a little time. Can you comment on that one? All you folks that were taking trips all these years and you sometimes would stop there. I'm sure the bus stopped many times, Durant High School bus and other high school, but no. Okay, if that's what it's famous for, I did not know that. Okay, I have never actually, I'm going to go ahead and take that down, Jamie. I have no idea. All right, Kristen. No, not mile marker 72. I think that's mile marker 51 that's famous for. By the way, thanks for watching tonight. No, it actually was famous for, anyone else want to give it a shot? Okay, just throwing that out there. All right. Actually was famous. That was where the Loves stop was. That's what a traffic light. No, that's Calera's had traffic lights. I think Calera was famous for traffic lights on the middle of the highway. The zoo was a little bit farther up the road. It was actually famous for the Loves. There was a Loves that was there for years and years at mile marker 72. That has been changed, and the Loves moved down the way. It's a bigger Loves. It's, I guess, a better Loves. I've stopped there a number of times. It's now at mile marker 70. So, just throwing that out there. Anyway, I-35 is narrowing to one lane through the summer of 2020. And this has been posted as if this was news. So you drive up there. I expected anymore. I used to have it down to where I knew this is how long it took me to get from Durant to Oklahoma City. And you just at this point have to add 10 to 15 minutes because you're going to stop in Pauls Valley or Purcell for some kind of traffic. Now we know for sure it is going to happen through the summer of 2020. Yes, Kristen, I would imagine you probably stopped there a number of times too with your family. I don't know that. I'm just guessing that's probably what was there. All right. Let's talk about a couple of things really quickly, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. And these are not, I don't like these as much, but I felt the need to talk about it just a little bit as we look at these things. So now there is a positive case in Bryan County. Someone has tested positive for the COVID-19 in Bryan County. Looking on social media last night, there were people that seemed to actually celebrate this fact. And I can't say that for sure because I can't say that I know what someone's thinking. But in posts, it seemed to celebrate the fact because now we know for sure. Now we know for sure it's in Bryan County. So now we know for sure that you do have to abide by these other rules. Rules that we needed to abide by anyway. That's just honestly, that's part of it. We needed to abide by these rules anyway. But now that there's someone in Bryan County that has been tested positive, we fall into that county, the list of counties that Governor Stitt talked about. So for the next 21 days, we have specific orders from the state government. Let me explain really quickly that everything I just read to you does not entail a lockdown. We are not in a lockdown in Bryan County. I'd like to repeat that. We are not in a lockdown. Let me say it like this. We are not in a lockdown in Bryan County. We are one of now 20, 21, 22 counties now that have someone who's tested positive for COVID-19. And so there are other rules that we have to abide by, which again are not bad rules. We've said this from the beginning here. We need to be wise. We need to use good discretion, but we need to, not walk in fear. And yes, I mean, every now and again, I want to throw this out there. You're right. If I hadn't put the glasses on, it probably would not have carried the same weight. We are not in a lockdown. And that was one of the first things that went on social media last night. Okay, that does it. This is it. Now it's official. We're in a lockdown. It's not official. We're not in a lockdown. Just to throw that out there. Okay. So we do have all the guidelines that I just read to live by and to go by for 21 days. And I believe we can do this. I really do believe that we can do this. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Secondly, and this is the other thing, I watching social media last night. I was frustrated because I was trying to, wrap my head around the fact that yes, we have someone in Bryan County. It's official, but also it made me sad because I felt like that folks were almost happy that now there's someone that's officially here. We need to be praying for these folks and not be happy that someone actually has tested positive. The next thing that came up is well, now we know someone's tested positive. Folks want to know who it is. You're not going to get that information. You're not, unless someone comes up to you and tells you, hey, it was me. Celebrities are getting on Twitter accounts, Instagram, and they're posting, hi, I'm Idris Elba, and I have come down with COVID-19. That's fine. They're celebrities. There are a lot of celebrities, by the way, that just don't know what to do with themselves right now because no one's paying attention to Hollywood. And that's a whole nother rant. But right now, because folks have found out, and I did not get the letter from Pruitt's up, I needed to read that letter from Pruitt's to you because I want you to hear the response. If you haven't heard an official response yet from Pruitt's, because there were folks that found out that a couple of people who worked at Pruitt's were not feeling good, suffering symptoms of what could be COVID-19. And so Pruitt's did the right thing, shut everything down, and that's all well and good. Well, now that we found out someone's in Bryan County that tested positive, and now we found out that there were folks in Pruitt's that may or may not have this. Well, where were they working? Well, what part of the store did they work in? Well, who are they? What are they doing? What are they doing now about all this? Folks, and I was really glad, by the way, to see that other folks on social media did come on following that going, listen, there's a hippo that's guarding this thing. No, wait, not a hippo. HIPAA. Yeah, HIPAA. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, HIPAA, which says they're not going to tell you. So don't ask. If you're doing your part anyway and you're socially distancing, it's going to be okay. You don't need to know who it was. That's fine. I need to find that. Sorry, I'm going to get that from, I'll have to do it tomorrow. I don't want to take any more time trying to find that tonight. But Pruitt's did put out a great letter to saying, look, this is what we did. There were 2 people in here. We shut down the store. Then they shut down the store for the entirety of the day. They're giving it a massive cleaning, and they will be back and open for business tomorrow. They are a critical part of the infrastructure here in Durant. So props to them. Props to all the folks at Pruitt's for taking care of that. All right. Let's see. You mentioned driver's license, those things. If your driver's license, and that leads me to another story, but if your driver's license has expired, you have until further notice to get that renewed. So don't panic about it right now. If I were you, I wouldn't get pulled over anyway. And by the way, there's somebody watching right now that can pull you over. I wouldn't get pulled over anyway. I'd try to get it taken care of as quickly as absolutely possible. But I'm just saying. you do, according to the state of Oklahoma, have an opportunity to get that taken care of pretty quickly. All right. Finally, the Senate has been working for days trying to get the stimulus bill taken care of. It's a bill that is $2.2 at last count $trillion. This is an almost unfathomable number. This is a number that's just you almost can't take it in. It is so big a number. So this is what the Senate's been working on our behalf for the last few days. They had a deal, then they didn't. Then they had a deal, then they didn't. Then as of last night at whatever time in the middle of the night, because I was still awake and couldn't go to sleep, they had a deal. They got it to the table. They're voting on it today, working hard to get that stimulus money to you. The U.S. Senate is doing this. Meanwhile, the U.S. House of Representatives went to work at 10 o'clock this morning, stopped working at 10:02. They're done. They're done. The Speaker of the House of the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives is done, and it doesn't matter about the bill that the Senate is putting together for you. The U.S. House of Representatives is trying to add lots of other things. I mentioned one of those things yesterday on the broadcast. I've had my notes over there trying to put in, look, if we get the stimulus bill, that's great. We want to put money in people's hands. We want to get businesses money and all these other things. By the way, we want to throw out $35 million for the John F. Kennedy Arts Center. We want to put $600 million in for the IRS. We'd like to throw in $300 million for the National Endowment of the Arts. Listen, every child in my house is an artist. I have 5 kids. They're all artists. But we don't need to spend $300 million on the National Endowment of the Arts when we're trying to get people stimulus to keep their businesses going and keep food on their tables. The latest one that came across that was a part of the bill that the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives wanted to see if she could put into that bill allows for, let me make sure I'm pulling it up here because I want to make sure that I read this exactly right. The bill from the U.S. House of Representatives would add this. It would add a stipulation that every state, not just California, but that every state, A, shall permit a voter to designate any person to return a voted and sealed absentee ballot to the post office, a ballot drop-off location, tribally designated building, or election office so long as the person designated to return the ballot does not receive any form of compensation based on the number of ballots that the person has returned, and no individual group or organization provides compensation on this basis. And B, may not put any limit on how many voted and sealed absentee ballots any designated person can return to the post office, a ballot drop-off location, tribally designated building, or election office. So let's look at this and see what this actually says. It reminds me of a story about going to vote in Bryan County, Oklahoma. Have you ever voted in Bryan County, Oklahoma? I have. I voted in Bryan County a number of times, as a matter of fact. Let me go back to the glasses. I want you to see how important this is. I've voted in Bryan County, Oklahoma many, many times, and my experience in voting in Bryan County, Oklahoma goes something like this. I go to my polling place, and when I walk in the door, I'll see generally stationed a voting machine. Also, I'll see a table, about a 6 or 8 foot table, and behind that table are 2 or 3 folks that are the officials that are there to make sure everything goes right. They have a notebook with lots of names in that notebook, and they find my name. They look and they'll find Joseph Wendell McWilliams. That's me, by the way. I have to sign my name on the line next to where my name has shown that I have already registered to vote, that I'm not looking to get same-day registration, but that I've already registered to vote. If they can't find my name there, I don't get to vote. Not only that, but I also have to show some kind of state-issued identification that says I'm actually Joseph Wendell McWilliams. So I pull out my driver's license generally, and I get that done. One time, I pulled out my driver's license. Sorry about this, Don. But one time I pulled out my driver's license. I showed it to the official behind the table, and she looked at it and said, "Mr. McWilliams, that's great, but you can't vote today unless you get this fixed." Get what fixed? your driver's license, it's expired. You need to get a valid driver's license. Now, fortunately, I could go not very far away and I could get my driver's license taken care of. I needed to get it done anyway. I just hadn't paid attention to the fact that it had expired. But I got it fixed. When I came back, I showed it to the official. She said, Mr. McWilliams, you can vote now. Here's your ballot. If you've voted in Bryan County, you've likely experienced some kind of story like that. There would not have ever been a thought of someone driving up to a polling place in Bryan County with a bunch of sealed envelopes dropping off there, and it says here, shall not be limited, may not put any limit on how many voted and sealed absentees ballots are there. Someone drives up with a trunk full, if they choose, or with a milk crate full, if they choose, of sealed ballots. They have to be received. They have to be accepted. They can't be looked at because they're sealed. And somebody brings that up there. You're never going to see that in Bryan County. At least, if this gets passed, you might. This is what's known as institutionalized ballot harvesting. Now, in lots of places, it goes by another name, voter fraud, but it's called ballot harvesting. This is what has been tried to be injected into the stimulus bill. This is why part of the reason that we're not getting our stimulus bill just yet is because things like that are trying to be injected into what is an already, again, unfathomable number of $2.2 trillion to try to get this out to us to help us in our daily lives. It makes me wonder if they really do have our best interest in mind at times. Just something to think about. And you should look these up too. One of the things I have enjoyed the most about this time right now is the fact that the press conferences that the President of the United States is doing are all live, so you can see them all. It's neat to get to see things actually happening without the middleman of the media in the way to tell us what we need to think. And I realize you're probably looking at me right now saying, but Joey, you're that middleman of the media right now. You're telling us what to think. No, I'm trying to present some information to you. What you think about it's up to you. And I mean that. So that was just at the very, very end. I hope you had some fun tonight. We have some winners of some cool prizes, some gift cards from Opera House and from Roma. I'll be visiting with Ronnie Walters next week. And I hope a little bit later on this week, if he's still watching, Don, we talked about coming back on this week. If you're still watching, hang on, gotta have the glasses on. If you're still watching, Don, let me know. Would you come back on with me? I'd love to get to visit with you again. Yeah, well, that's all right. He may or may not still be watching. Thank you for watching tonight. We've been charting waters here. We really have. And I want to give a shout out again to Susan Chalk for the very, very cool shirt. I'll bring it back on a little bit later on. But we've been charting waters. We're in uncharted waters, but we're charting them together. We're spending time together. So I want to say thanks to everyone for watching tonight. Glad to be back on Facebook Live tonight. We'll try it again tomorrow. Talk a little bit more as we know more about what this means for us with our schools and what it means in our lives. Remember, you're not under lockdown right now. Bryan County is not under lockdown right now. Don't be concerned about who has it and who doesn't have it. Let's take care of ourselves, our families. Be a blessing to other people as much as you can. Be a blessing to other people along the way. Look for the good. Don't look for the bad. Look for the good. And I have said this from the very beginning, and I want to say it one more time because I want to go on record again. I truly believe we are going to get through this more quickly than some of the experts think we will. I really believe that. If I'm wrong, then man, you probably will. You can trash me on social media. That's okay. If I'm wrong, that's fine. But I really believe we're going to get through this more quickly than what a lot of people think we are. So thank you, Vanessa. Hey, by the way, I want to say thanks. Vanessa, you've been watching so many nights, and I really appreciate you and all the other folks who have been watching. Shout out to everyone for coming on and dropping a comment tonight. God bless you. I'm very thankful that you've come on with me. Let's keep charting these waters together. Let's keep lifting one another up. Look for the good, not for the bad. Be wise, be diligent, have discretion, but do not walk in fear. And I will see you tomorrow night. God bless you, everyone. Have a great night.